DeMarcus DeRoche committed to the Miami Hurricanes last night. We're going to take a deeper look at the 2027 edge rusher right now. He goes to Cardinal Gibbons in Florida. That's where his upcoming junior season he'll be playing at, but it was at Boyd Anderson last year. So we're going to take a look at the sophomore tape right now. Listed at 6'4", 205 on 24/7, but on Huddle he's got himself listed at 6'6". I'm always going to believe the 24/7 numbers, but with this kid, he looks pretty big. He looks a little bit bigger than, maybe not 6'4", but I think he's a bit more filled out than 205. Really like this kid's frame as a sophomore in high school. You know, I have to keep rephrasing as a sophomore in high school because we got to remember that these kids are still 2-3 years away from actually playing college football. So why is this kid an edge rusher? We're not going to see him really get after the quarterback a whole lot. He's going to play some D-back, a lot of receiver on the high school tape. But I really like this clip. Not for the ball skills. We're not going to be asking him to make a play on the ball like this at the next level. But I think you see the hip flexibility. Right after that clip, I was like, I'm pretty sure this kid's a basketball player, and taking a deeper look, that this kid does play basketball. I really like having edge rushers that make that transition into that also play basketball. Why? I really like the explosiveness that basketball brings to the football field. It's that first step, and a lot of times, especially in high school, you won't always see it translate right away just because it's a different motion of having these kids get after the quarterback versus attacking, the rim in basketball or going to block a shot. But once they get that first step ironed out, a bit more of a football movement, these kids are very explosive. Also really like the flexibility that basketball players have. You won't really watch them on the football field and talk about them being really stiff. They do a really, really good job turning the corner, and I think you're going to see that with DeMarcus DeRoche down the line. Now, as we start seeing him in a bit more of a pass rushing role, you can just take a look at the hip fluidity. Really like that bend that DeMarcus DeRoche is going to have when we're asking him to play in that edge rusher role. So, what are you getting with this kid? Why is this kid so highly? He's rated around 250. I think Miami's betting on this kid making a massive jump as he starts to kind of transition into that edge rusher role. To me, it's the size. This kid's very naturally gifted. He's only listed at 205, but you take a look at him, he looks a lot bigger. So if he's not 205, if he is 205, I think his playing weight's going to be a bit closer to 230, 240. He looks like he can add 20 pounds while he's in high school, and then when he's actually on Miami's campus, he's going to add 10, 15 pounds just like that. No, there's a whole lot of room for him to keep adding mass, keep adding strength. I think he's got a lot of pass rushing upside as well with the length, with the bend, and the explosiveness. We see some of the explosiveness flash throughout this highlight tape. I just don't think we really get to see it in a pass rushing context just because of the role he's asked to play in high school. But, I think that's kind of what Miami's betting on here. Pass rushing upside plus frame, it's kind of an easy take to me as a sophomore in high school. It's going to be very exciting to watch this kid just kind of grow throughout his high school career. But, very early, I definitely see the traits that make him a Division I football player for sure. I'm really not going to believe the 205 number, man. He looks a lot bigger than that. So that was DeMarcus DeRoche, just committed to Miami. You guys let me know what you think about him. Any other 26, 27, 28 players you want me to take a look at. Thanks for watching.